Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Seiche. Seiche, so Seiche, welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Hi.
Seiche, could you please let everyone know what your full type is?
Yeah, so my OPS type would be double masculine, NEFI, consume, sleep, blast, play. And I was also typed to number four. They wasn't 100% sure on that, but definitely like X drive two or four. That's what I'm going with right now. So
Gotcha. So that's an interesting type you have because I feel like your social type and your actual ops type kind of has a they're kind of contradictory. So we'll definitely dive into that because they're quite opposites in a sense. Um,
everything's contradictory.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting for sure. But let's go through your parts first. I want to start with your consume. So your consume is double feminine, NEFI, NF consume. So even though you're double masculine in your sexual modality, your first animal is actually double feminine. How do you personally experience that yourself since you got a chance to, know your type and whatnot?
Well, basically it's like so I'm like my head was like, oh, what do you think and how do you feel? It's gonna be the first question. It's like, okay, a different question. Play, jumping. Um, so basically, like I guess the like NF consume, the gist of it is basically like when I am taking in new experiences for myself, which is like, yeah, I feel allowed to do that. That's life. Like the first thing that you do is like
Yeah.
just look around you and experience things. And I guess I'm trying to always kind of look for a little bit of like a seed of meaning in that. Like you often refer to it as like a battery NF consume, I
Right.
noticed. It's like, yeah, like what something I've noticed since I got into ops is like it almost does fit into my box because like I almost feel responsible for like going through and having that existential crisis about myself, even if it means questioning a lot of things about my identity, just because like um I guess it is a little bit less of a like a confident first animal. Like I I I try to find the meaning, but then I forget it. Like, um sorry, it's like still working off the nerves here.
No worries. Well, do you want to answer the question I normally ask people, which I completely forgot to ask you because I haven't done any interviews in a while. So,
Oh, you haven't?
what did you think and how did you feel about getting this result back when David Chan typed you as this very interesting type? I think I've only interviewed somebody like one more person with this.
Yeah, Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah. Yeah,
She's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
I like how normally they say you cringy your type, but she's so mature. I was like, you're definitely on a higher plane than me, so I will take everything. I want everything. I just watch her and you're just like, this makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I met her in person before too, and she's more extroverted than me when we're together. So it's kind of weird. Even though I'm like the play
That's
blast
awesome.
and she's like the double activated sleep. Um, it's kind of interesting. I think she might be a four also, even though they said that she might be a three. But
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah,
I definitely see the specialize in her like so much of her story was like about trying to find where she fit in her like career and stuff.
right.
Um, let's see, sorry. Just okay, so yeah, what do you think? I guess I felt relieved, like mainly just for not even because of the type, but it's just been I've been in ops for like I've been watching their videos and stuff for a long time, like since COVID, and I was like 16 when I got into it, so it was a big part of my life so far, I guess. So it's just like like you all need to know this is my first time like coming in and talking this stuff out in the OP community, and I didn't like join the Facebook or anything. I never looked at any YouTube comments. I was like primo, like just like floater, like just watching. And so I guess that's the first part is just like, okay, finally I have a good stable income and finally I have like the mental capacity where I'm like, I actually want to get into the community rather than just like having that unconscious boundary feeling like, no, don't trust it, don't move past it. Um, I don't know. I was almost like it could go Mori-esque. Like if you know what that is, like the Japanese concept of like it's basically like the most deep form of aloneness where I didn't even like see people all day basically for a while after after I graduated high school during COVID and I didn't ever get to go back for like a year and a half. So I just it took me longer than everybody else to get like back to society and back to reality, I think. So, but like with that said, I think the type itself was really interesting to me because I thought that I might have been more of like an INFP. I kind of type myself more like straight down the middle of what my problems are. So I thought maybe like FINE, like, and like consume sleep, like play blast or something like that. Luckily, I saw this sexual, but it almost felt less like a no, you're wrong, and more like a yeah, but wait, there's more kind of thing. Because it's like um I see that the trigger in the I see the single observing, but it's almost the kind of thing where I'll like come back to a situation that triggered me and I'm like, oh, well, this is stupid because I can use SI just fine, and all I need to do is like just persevere through the problem and keep organizing or like trust my known information. And it's like, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, so I guess when you said that you might think that you were an INFP, it kind of makes sense because you have feminine FI. So I think you're going to be more sensitive to like your emotions being moved and whatnot. So and your identity being moved. So it feels very decider-ish like. But I guess you can't hide the fact that SI is the biggest problem and it's still the triggering. And then I guess you're still a double decider. So I think that's ultimately what pushed you to be this type as opposed to INFP.
I'm trying to be better at double deciding. I think that I did get stuck in a rut and I had a lot of people problems. I felt like I abandoned a lot of people in my life. Like it was almost like there was this point of drama, like right before, like to the month, like to the week, to the day that the lockdowns happened. And it kind of stuck with me for many years. But I guess I was so excited to like share the processing I'd done with that when I did the when I sent Dave my audio, and he's just like, yeah, okay, you spent a million years on this, but like don't forget about the part where like I was like in my car and like freaking out about like the light going off and stuff. And I had just gotten in a car accident and was like talking about it. It's just like you can't hide that shit.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Life just pops in and it's like that's the unprocessed thing. It doesn't matter if you spent 5 years like getting through the other decider problems. Like ultimately that the trigger is like animalistic. It's not a logical thing.
No, it's not. It's 100% animalistic. So the fact that it was SI, I mean, it makes sense you would have issues with the tribe because you're play last, right? So, double activated sleep, play last. So So that makes sense. I guess that's the tough part about being play last. And it seems like your sleep is stronger than most people's sleep too. Like your sleep processing is pretty intense from what I can see. Um,
Too intense to like fully be into this interview yet, I guess. That's why I had to ask you for more time because I was like, I know I'm gonna take a while to warm up. I know that like once I get to my blast, it's gonna be really abusive and I'm gonna be like if I get cut off in the middle of it, I'm gonna get really frustrated. But what I want is to just get to the natural state with you,
right, right.
right? Like
Well,
I do want to get to the planet.
I think we're gonna be okay because we're both info dom. So that's I think we both communicate in that same language. Um, which I think can be a struggle because when you're talking to energy DOMs, your communication is almost very different. Um, and we both have blast and consume in the middle, so or not in the middle, but activated. So I think we can both use it as to communicate.
Yeah, I did not understand that at all. Like the energy versus input on cross check. I think I was too into like the anecdotes about it. It was like, oh, you're so goofy. You're an energy dom. It's like I love being around that sort of goofiness um in social situations, but I don't always feel like I know exactly what to do to participate, especially when the people have like SE based play or something like that. They're just like people like picking each other up and throwing each other into the pool. Like I'm imagining that in my extended family, and I'm just like, nope. I think I probably exude an aura of like, nope, don't do that to me. Don't fuck with me with that. But I think it's funny.
Yeah. No, I get you. I hate that I hate that SE um energy dom playing thing. I can't stand it. Yeah. Like when I was younger, I go to house parties and I see people like wrestling each other. I'm like, what are you doing? What is this shit? Right? So I get it.
It's
Um,
not hate, but it's just a, like that doesn't touch me. I will watch
well,
it.
it's not fun.
I will watch you dance monkey.
Yeah. Dance monkey, that's funny. I want to go back to the NF consume that you were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
You said that I was using it as a battery, right?
Oh
For
yeah.
and I 100% think that NF consume is a battery for inspiration and motivation because
Yeah.
I was thinking about it actually. I was driving yesterday or the day before, and what I was thinking is I'm not like those NF sleep people, like the INTJs, ESFPs, ISFPs, and ENTJs. Like for them, the inner world is NF, right? So for them,
Mhm.
what they're trying to do is have some kind of mission in life that they're gonna pursue relentlessly because of that NF sleep, right? So it's organized, like the NF trajectory has been organized in this sleep, and now they're gonna follow it and use it as their guiding compass to pursue what is with their life. However, with the SF
Yeah.
sleep, it's a little bit kind of it's a little bit more animalistic and a little bit more shallow, you could say. So there's a shallow aspect to it, but there's also the more animalistic aspect to it. Because I was thinking about like, okay, when it comes time to organizing the identity and organizing the long-term trajectory,
Mhm.
it's not the NF actually. The NF consume is like a farce almost. It's like a lie. It's what the people outside are seeing, but it's also kind of the external image that you're projecting, but it's not what's happening inside because the inside is SF. Because I was thinking about it and I was like, I was watching a video of a Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, right? The another play last,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Um, and he was doing this challenge that he did a preview for next year. He had this one guy who the goal is he needs to lose 100 pounds in 1 year. And if he does, he wins like $250,000 or something. And then when I was watching that preview video and I was looking at like where that guy was living, it was like a house, and his house where he's doing the challenge has a gym and has like a kitchen with all the healthy food because his goal is obviously to lose 100 pounds. And I was looking at that house. I was like, I want that house. I want the gym and I want the kitchen. And then the only thing I would do different is I would have a studio for making YouTube videos. And I was like, that's it. That's what I want. And I thought about it and I was like, that feels so shallow and that feels so simplistic. It feels so simplistic because it's not like the NF sleep people. Um, but ultimately the NF consume we get the inspiration and motivation from new experiences. It's not something that comes to us that is not generated internally. It's generated from consume. Essentially,
Yeah,
that's why I travel so much. I've been to like 100 countries. Like
that's so impressive.
yeah, thanks. So it's like I knew that if the more life experience I got, the more NF energy I got. But it's like I have to tap into that battery, right? Like otherwise, it's not gonna come innately. I mean, you can see it, you can get it from movies too if you watch like a more NF kind of movie, I guess. With some meaning and purpose. But it's not derived internally. So I think that's like the problem with NF consume is that you always need more of it. Otherwise, you're not gonna get that inspiration and motivation, to
Oh, yeah.
push you in life. So that's kind of the what I was thinking about that. But anyways, based on that idea, what do you think on from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it's on one hand, it is. I've thought about what you're saying before. Is like I feel like I'm not really building anything with the NF compared to every other quadra, like the FEs who are like trying to like sort of like grab it and then drag it down to the ST and in order to use it for community building. Or like, yeah, or the people that are building their identity on it too. It's almost just like again, it's like you start there. So I'm I guess just like appreciating beauty that's around me whenever like my therapist or something made me do the Strengthfinder and I got those really high of like appreciating like beauty and stuff. And I was just like, this is boring. Let's get to the, the stuff that I'm bad at. But yeah, like um I often like when I was really in my bad like depression and my bad rut, I would just I would stay up really late and I would consume a lot of things. Like I would consume music or something on the internet and like it almost doesn't even like matter. Like I'll end up getting attracted to things that I know I don't FI value, like really shitty like reality TV or something, because it's like I just I just want to like I really just care about people watching. And especially now that I'm like typing all the time, I'm like filtering everything through different ops concepts and I end up like as long as there's people involved in it, I can kind of psychoanalyze them and get something out of it. But yeah, you just end up at the end of the day, it's like existential, and I'm like trying to get all the circumstances to line up perfectly and chase some sort of high that makes me like feel connected to something spiritual. But then I go to bed and then I wake up and I forget it in the morning. It's like it's almost like I never want to. I didn't want to fall asleep because I didn't believe that like the next day would necessarily even come. Like I was that bad at some points. So it is a I've been trying to get out of it way more for sure. The NF consume. But it's still like I guess it's useful. It's useful for reading people. I find that I often know um I'll like latch onto the NF when I'm talking to somebody and I often like I might forget what words they're saying, but I'll figure out that like they're tired or they're irritated or they're getting triggered about something before they even seem to know it. Um, yeah, like it's good for social interactions because I feel like I can see how people's motivations work together. But for my own purposes, it's really easy for the FI to get like self-destructive. That's my thoughts. Sorry.
What I was thinking when you were saying that is first,
Mhm.
your consumes double feminine NF. So I think that's why the next day you would forget whatever you consume. And then the other thing, when you were talking about like you don't want to go to sleep because you don't want tomorrow to come or whatnot. Um, I think that's one of the cross checks for social types that Dave and Shannon has talked about, which is number fours. They see the past as positive and the future as negative. So the fact that you even said tomorrow, you don't want to be in tomorrow, that's like a negative outlook of the future because number fours have a negative outlook of the next day. Like nostalgia is huge for number fours, right? Like number fours are like really big into nostalgia. Well, like yeah, so your social type does definitely impact that. I mean, at least
I wouldn't, I'm not really impressed, actually.
what's that? Oh,
Sorry, I just want to let him out really fast. Um,
yeah, but is
yeah,
that a dog or something? Or
yeah, it's my dog.
okay, gotcha.
Sorry. Um, I think that's not at all the space that I'm at anymore. But like now I often like with my job and with doing a lot of like God, I'm trying to get the specifics into here. It's like ruining my flow. But I'm a lot more often in the space where I'm coming home super exhausted at the end of the day. And I'm like too exhausted to even do my nighttime routine. I'll just like fall asleep on the couch. Like I'll try not to because I still have responsibilities left to do. And that's why I'll have insomnia if I have it, is because I'll just like be kicking myself. It's like, don't fall asleep, don't do that yet. But um yeah, I think if I actually let myself like be that fully into the consume, I'll just sort of like I'll do anything it takes to wait for the like emotional hit to come to tell me that it's all right. And I can see how like people with NF consume tend to fall more easily into addiction and stuff because it is that stick, it is that like hit of it. I don't ever I don't ever want to be addicted to anything. That'd be like one of my principles, I think.
Why don't we talk about your sleep? Because that's the one that you're using the most from what I can see since we started chatting. Your sleep is SF, just like mine, but you have it double activated compared to me. And can you share what you tend to process on a regular basis with your SF sleep? And because it's double activated, how do you personally see yourself um, continuing to go inwards as opposed to going outwards?
Yeah, it's like it's constant. It's almost like it is very dramatic. It's like an on and off switch if I'm in my head or if I'm like able to actually like get out of it and ping with the outside world. But normally, I would say compared to some other people that I've seen with SF sleep, like my mom and stuff, I tend to focus on processing the emotion first and then like things that come with the SI, like more for the sake of SI, like taking care of myself, um, like eating enough and sleeping enough and having like very strong, consistent boundaries will kind of come second. I end up sacrificing my health sometimes. Like I know I'll get there, but I still have problems with that a lot. Um, Especially when I'm like trying to take on more responsibilities for the tribe and like trying to work out what will make people happy. And like I guess like compared to my mom, who I think might be SI at the top, and she's a lot more like she's in it for the SI sake, and the FI just kind of tags along. So it's like more like Um, she'll have like a set time where she's like, "Oh, I need to eat now," and it's just like biological or something like that. Like I don't have that at all. I just like forget to eat or something like that if I'm too busy thinking about like something I've consumed or something that's in my identity or anything like that. I have taken to writing a lot more in the past couple of years and like just processing my thoughts. I used to keep a physical journal and the actual act of writing would be like really therapeutic and I would always have my like little specific little books and pens and whatever. But um now I do more digitally. But yeah, and just like it's very like if I'm in my sleep, other people notice. Like it's very physically, like I'll get up and I'll pace around or like fidget or I'll always be trying to do something to like passively get the SI energy out because I guess then it leaves more room in my head for me to consider different possibilities. I had like issues with like picking my skin and my face too much. I'm always getting like nitpicked about like stop like playing with your hair or whatever. And but it's just it's part of that, I think. It's like I'll get locked into a certain motion. I can't like
So
yeah,
sounds like you process your feelings first because FI is higher up than the SI, and then the SI is the
yeah.
actual problem. And I can relate to that too because I do process the emotion first as well with my sleep, even though I'm sleep last. But the SI is definitely the issue. And I don't know if you saw my panel interview with all the Delta quadrant people, like the ENFP, INFP, ESTJ, and ISTJ.
I think I did. Not for a bit, but I think so.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it was a really good one for kind of seeing how each person from the same quadra as us, how they use the FI, the SI, the sleep specifically. Because I noticed with the ISTJ, they have SI on the top, so they're kind of the same as us, except the opposite in the order
Hmm.
of cognitive function. I remember Hannah, I think the one that you were talking to me about, like you think she's cool and stuff. She in that interview, she said that she would drink like latte or coffee to fix her emotional issue first, because it's the thing, the object first. And if that doesn't work, then she'll go seek help, right? Like a therapist or something. But then I noticed that the ENFP and the INFP in that interview, they both said that no, I just go directly to the FI. I'll directly uh, confront what emotion I'm experiencing, and then I'll process it from there. I don't need like an external object. And then the ESTJs, they don't even process the emotion. They'll like just go to the gym or something to try to feel better, which kind of helps because you get a dopamine
Yeah,
when you work out. So I thought it was really interesting. Like the higher the SI is, the more you try to avoid the FI first to do something else. But then if you're a double decider, then you'll still address the FI. Well, if you're like a decider, like an ESTJ, you'll just avoid it. So I thought it was really fascinating. So when you said that, oh, you directly address the emotion first, I'm like, okay, that sounds in line with like, having FI above SI. Now, with the SI though, there's many different things with that, and one of the biggest factor is um, having a body that is physically healthy. So it's basically having a routine for exercise, nutrition, sleep, and mental health, right? So you kind of touch on the mental health with the journaling and whatnot. And feel free to add more if you think of something on how you personally have a routine to kind of address anything that relates to mental health. But what do you have any routines for sleep? Do you have any exercise routine? And do you have any routine for eating healthy to make sure that your body is and mind is running at as healthy and as, feel good as possible.
Yeah. Um, I think that it might be what I'm like going to talk about right now, just because I've been having some lingering like sleep issues this week. Like I think just because I've been doing this interview and then I was like communicating with you for that and then I was trying to organize um so sorry. God, this is like no, seriously, it's like
Take your time.
I'm
Take
having bail thoughts in my head because I'm like, this interview sucks. But I gotta not do that, right? It's like another like it's tunnel vision, right? Kind of like it's I see the when I see the distance between me and another person in the situation, it's hard not to like for the FI to just immediately go like victimize. Like I don't want to feel like a victim or I don't want to feel like ultimately like I like don't belong in a situation just because my like sleep is reacting a certain way. So trying to like keep my perfectionism down to a minimum in this interview. I was like, it sucks because it's like, okay, this is like changing the topic, but um I guess when I'm thinking about like I was reading this blog post from uh subjective personality, like Rob, and basically about how when you're a glass lizard, it's kind of like you do a lot of the you do a lot of your last function all day, and but then when you get stressed, you still try to abandon it. So like I will do a lot of um I'll try to do a lot of like thinking over and preparing with everything that I do, and then it's just like, but I don't like trying to like not switch it up and like just jump into chaos because I don't trust the information that I've already established for myself is really like it's hard to avoid it and then I just feel a lot of shame because I'm like I think I wasted like 80% of my resources and 80% of the energy that I actually put into my preparation for stuff. So like sometimes the SF sleep is kind of stupid. So for this interviews, like I know like what I wanted out of this interview, but
Yeah.
like um it's almost like I've thought about it in my head too many different times and it's like the excuse is like, well, if you just think about it, like you think about it going like a bunch of different ways, then you don't get mad because it didn't go the way you wanted to because you wanted like a million things. So
Right.
sorry. It's like in my head about it. But it's the first time I'm playing the long game with this system.
Yeah.
And so I'm just here. Like that's good enough for me for now, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have to care if I like didn't get a good camera or if my like if I didn't change my hair or something stupid like that just because I've been imagining this for freaking like 3 years. Like I just got so tired of making excuses to not do this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and also keep in mind, we can also do a follow-up interview like a year from now or something.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
not,
heck yeah.
yeah,
I just saw Elvis's and I'm like, wow, like he's like sharing about like all this different stuff that happened in his life. It's like I got a girlfriend and I like he's progressing in his music and I'm like even he's like talking better because he's blast last and it's just like heck yeah.
Who?
Like I'll track my progress like that. I believe is the one that you did the most recently with Elvis.
Oh, okay.
I like related strongly to that because I feel like we have a similar amount of like backwardsness in our type.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I just want to mention something because
Hmm.
I think you're falling for the double activated sleep and play last trap. I had an
Yeah,
interview with Uzair, who's the play last ISTP.
he's built different. I really, I heck yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to mention what we were discussing. This might have been off camera when we discussed this, but
Mhm.
he we were talking about the YouTubing because he's a YouTuber also, right?
Yeah,
And then for the longest time, he thought my video quality was kind of just kind of meh. And then but then I told him, I'm like, dude, when you just use play without sleep processing and you keep doing it over and over again, you get to the point where you don't need to over prepare or over imagine anything. You can just hit the record button and you're good to go.
for
Because
sure.
for him, he was, being a perfectionist with that sleep, right? And for me, I'm just cranking out interviews left and right. So if I want to make a video, I literally just have to message somebody. Hey, like, hey, you want to do an interview? And I'm not even thinking on what I'm gonna be talking to that person about. I'm just thinking, I'm just gonna let the interaction go wherever it ends up in. And I don't have any expectation. I don't have any or anything. Like people sometimes when I interview them, they're like, Was that your expectation?" I'm like, I have no expectation. Like seriously, I have like zilch. Okay, I'm literally recording it. I'm chatting to somebody and I'm uploading it.
Yeah,
That's it. I don't.
chatting to strangers like a true
Yeah, like I don't give a
NFP.
shit. I don't care about. I have no expectation whatsoever when I interview someone. People get self-conscious when I interview them, and I'm like, no, just be yourself. We're just chatting. It's like who gives a
Yeah.
fuck? Like just talk, we're just chatting. So and it was there's a it's like, damn, that's actually a superpower because then you can
Oh
just
yeah.
putting out content online and then eventually you get to the point where it's almost like sleep processing because you've run around in circles so much time that you get to the point where it's like, oh, it feels like it's organized, but it's not. It's just that you did it so many times that it seems like it's organized. And also, I think the danger with over processing and over imagining a social interaction is that you put too much expectation and you set yourself
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
for like disappointment later on, right? So it's like people who take like dating too seriously, like and then they don't find like the right partner for them or whatever. It's because they overthought about it. Like you just have fun, just go with it, live in the moment. Like don't overthink it. Just shoot the shit. Who gives a shit what people fuck them, right? So
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
you know,
The Whenever I'm in a social interaction, I just have to think about like the first time is always the hardest.
yeah,
Doing anything, the first time is going to be the hardest because like I just haven't built up the practice for it yet. But
yeah,
like it's really just like it's this amount of timeline is like between me sucking and me being a badass because I just like the potential's already there. If I've slept first, the potential's always already there.
right. And also with the people I interview, when they come in a second time, right, or
Hmm.
the third time, or they come to a panel interview and they watch my original interview with them, they'll always say, "Oh my God, I can see how much I have improved since we last spoke."
Yeah,
So there is like a SI track record of your progress, which I think is really good. So I think it's important that there's a favorite saying I have, like those NF sleep people, they have like a mantra or a code, and they kind of
yeah,
adhere to it. And we can kind of borrow a little bit of that mantra and that code personally for our life. But for me personally, the one I like is uh, don't do it to win, do it to be brave. And that's always what I go after in life is like something feels uncomfortable, that's probably the right thing to go towards,
hmm
right? If
hmm
it's comfortable, you're not growing. You're going to be in the same place as you were yesterday, maybe even worse, because there is that element of uh, degradation. That's the word? Like you degrade when you're not practicing, right? So if you
yeah,
want to improve at speaking, you want to improve at your social skills, that's what you have to do. You have to do that thing. You can't imagine it, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to like start with the assumption that it's gonna Well, this is such a low flex thing to say start with the assumption that it's going to suck because I have high expectations about pretty much everything,
Yeah.
but like I just like I again I lost it. It's like I got into the interview, I'm nervous, I lost it. Like that's all. I I will let my dog in again just so I
Sure,
can
yeah.
stop being distracted.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, okay. First of all, you didn't lose it because
Make
you
sure I'm not so.
you requested
Yep.
2 hour interview, right? So the first hour is a warm up, pretty much.
That
So
was yeah, that's I like yeah.
yeah,
Like I just like I don't I've seen your interviews before a lot, obviously.
right.
And like I just don't really want to be that person who like is like, oh, well, I'm a, mope and I'm super OE, so I'm not controlling the conversation. I'm just talking about me a billion different ways. And like assuming I can take up all your time. Like I don't wanna like just come in and take advantage of you unless I know that I can take advantage of you, I guess. So
Well, you're supposed to be talking about yourself. That's the whole idea of the interview. So, like, I don't mind
yeah.
if people are like if there's a
I,
time someone can be self-absorbed, self-centered, this is the time, like 100%. Because people are trying to, with my interviews, the purpose is for people to learn about what that specific type is like, right?
wow, and I need to be reminded of that. That's fucking dumb.
Yeah, yeah, and then so people are here to learn about what your type is like, and actually, I think you've represented your type very well, which is actually I think is really good, like
I
you,
hope you can learn about the other side of it also by the
yeah,
end of it.
no, but you're
But
showing,
we won't think about that too hard.
yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, we haven't gotten to your double masculine ST blast yet, right? So that's a different beast right there, you know. But no,
Yeah, I haven't even said anything like about myself or about my life or anything yet.
yeah.
Like, like, why is what like the I get choking on my words because it's like the point of tension is the actual details. And I don't want to share things about myself, but I do.
Well, you can pick and choose what you feel comfortable with. You don't have to share something that you,
I pick and choose sharing ops with people in my life. Like it's a hard block to get, even if I just want to get support from someone to say, like, oh, hey, I'm doing this interview and it's like it's based on this, hobby. I don't even like calling it a hobby sometimes because I like take it way too seriously, but it's based on this thing that's like been in the works for like so long and I can't tell you about it. Not can't, but never can't. Just I guess it is like all all single observing is a deflection. Like not saying the sensory is like a just because I fear judgment in it. Like then if you keep secrets, then you don't get judged. Like just like
you
um
feel like you're getting judged for the sensory, like of of that.
yeah, well, I mean, I feel like it's kind of easy to like no one has as much depth of knowledge about ops and most people don't even know what like personality theory is beyond maybe like, oh, I got like 4 letters. I got like LNFP or whatever. It's just
Right.
like it's like the iceberg theory is too much for me. But I would be really good at like sitting someone down and being like, here's every single thing about ops and here's every single coin and like here's ways that you could relate it to your life, but I don't haven't done it yet. Exactly.
Well, I think if you talk about ops to like normal people, they'll just think you're crazy because it sounds
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Like what is this consume play?
People online are like, is ops a cult? I'm like, I can't answer that question. Like, did it change the way that I think a lot? Yeah. But why like It's not like people are just getting triggered, like
Yeah,
including me in this case. I had to process that before I actually submitted my typing. Like I understand like my intentions here are basically just that I wasn't even like into self-growth or anything. I fell into it by accident and it is just attractive because it is the most complex system, but also because even when I was just into MBTI and stuff, it's like um I kind of don't have the patience for like the flowery stuff. I'm just like, tell me what's wrong with me. Like I was in such a tidal wave at the time. I was just like, I need to know why I'm not like keeping up. And I feel like out of place in every social interaction. I don't know why I'm not like getting the like all of my school projects done and stuff is like just like the ST pile up
yeah,
and like I don't think that I ever had a point in my life where I felt like and if consume saviors were actually saving me. So it's just like naturally built for it, kind of.
right. Yeah, I think OPS is so amazing because of how it gives you a roadmap exactly what to do to fix whatever your deficiencies are, which is your fourth function,
Yeah.
usually, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, when I learned what SI like how SI works, I was like, what? That's how it works? Sweet, I'll just have to practice it. So easy. Like it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like
Easy.
but like the concept of it is easy. Like SI, for example, I don't know why like people with SE have a trouble grasping what it is. It's like it's a pretty simple concept. It's like
Wait,
step
do
one,
they?
step one, do this, step two, do this, step three, do this, step four, do this. It's like there's like steps, right? You know, with ST Blast at least, right? I'm like, that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
step one. Like if I'm gonna cook eggs, for example, oh, step one, put the oil in the pan. Step two, put the, crack the egg and put it on the oil. Step three, put the salt, right? You know, and then step four, like take it out of the pan or whatever. Or flip it if you were doing like over easy or something. So it's
Yeah. And step
like
five, luckily you can't mess up eggs, which is great because I can
yeah,
mess up anything.
step five, eat the egg, right? Like like
Yeah.
it's like step by step. Like that's what ST Blast is. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. Now I know what to practice, like with intention, right? To strengthen it. And then for SF sleep, it's like, oh, what's SF sleep? I'm like, oh, it's I'm having a routine, like an exercise routine, a health routine, a sleep routine, a nutritional routine, and everything has to be like with NF sleep, right? The ESFPs, they're saying is discipline equals freedom, right? But then
Yeah.
once I found out what SI was,
The mantras and stuff.
right, right. But for us, for the ENFPs, it's routine equals freedom. So so as long as we follow the routine, then we have freedom. Freedom to be creative, freedom to do whatever we want, as long as we keep those routines in place, because the routine enables you to operate at a higher level. And then when you're operating at a higher level, then you can be creative. You can do all the fun ENFP stuff that you want to do.
Yeah.
But without the routine, it's gonna fall apart, and then you're just like in a trigger state most of the time because you're worrying about paying your bills, you're worrying about taxes, worrying about like whatever all the SI bullshit that you have to deal with, like all like the detailed stuff, right? So so I think it's like a godsend, like to know that that's what you need to work on to improve your life. But yes, you can't tell it to people. Like when people talk to me and they're like, "Oh, you have a YouTube channel? What do you do?" And I'm like, it's about personality and psychology. That's all I say. Because like if I tell them what OPS is, I just sound like a
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy person, right? So yeah, personality and psychology. They're like, oh, what personality? I'm like, Myers-Briggs. They're like, oh, okay, I know what that is. I'm like, okay. Like I don't even mention OPS. I just say Myers-Briggs. Because like if you start going the deep dive of Myers-Briggs, then like people start like thinking you're nuts. But I would say though, when you talk about social type with people, people know people it's like the best entry level to OPS because like everyone, like if you say what a number one is, people know. Everyone have seen what a number one is. Like nobody has not seen a number one, right? You know, so like number four is also like, and if you describe what a number two is and number three, like it's people know, like it's instinctually you've seen those before, right? So um yeah, so like I like to describe number ones first because they're the easiest. I'm like, there's people who's like over competitive and they're like, they don't leave the house without looking as good as possible, like, like kind of like using some anecdotes here, right? They can be as flashy as possible and they're willing to like if they have a choice between like stepping over other people to get to become the best, they would. Of course, they'll try to go for win-win, but if win-win's not possible, then they'll step on you because winning is the top priority. Achieving status, right? Those are the top priority, right?
Uh,
You
I
know,
yeah, assuming like I guess it's still I think social type is a super good addition to the system, but it still is almost a little bit offensive to me that like I don't even want to like believe that social types exist. I understand that it's like not like a real thing necessarily that like oh people are actually like better than me because they're being placed above me in this social type. But um
wait, so you don't want to believe social type because if you're a four, then you're
no, I it's not that I don't want to believe it. It's just that there is an instinctual like I guess I like you mentioned Uzair earlier, and I guess I related to like his like he was kind of advocating for like yeah, like I'm not gonna argue with the for typing because that's probably how I operate, but like it's just like you don't want to see these like fours embracing like quote unquote embracing being a four because it's like then you're putting yourself below other people. I guess as a DI you still kind of have that like I still kind of have that trigger of like, oh, I would be any social type but not four, but then it's like once I do start realizing it's more fake, then
yeah.
then it's like that's okay, I guess. Like,
Well, maybe it's just the SI label that's offensive about it because a lot of number fours are number ones in real life. Like Warren Buffett is like one of the richest people in the world, and he's like a number four, and he's an ENTP, right? So, he's like he's number one essentially. There's a lot of number fours that are like Joe Rogan is the number one podcaster in the world, and he's a number four. So there's a lot of high achieving number fours. So I don't think it's right to label number fours as bottom of the rung of the social ladder. I just think number four means your priority is different. Your priority is
yeah.
hobbies and relationships are your priority. Nothing wrong with that, and you can thrive pursuing hobbies and relationships because when you have good relationships, doors open for you, right? If you're like a conniving number one, I'm not saying all number ones are conniving. I'm just saying like some number ones are, the ones who are like, then you build up a track record of backstabbing people or hurting people to get to the top, and then people will see your track record, and then now doors won't open for you, right? But then when you have a track record like a number four of being like genuinely kind or genuinely wanting to connect with people, that opens a lot of door because then people trust you, people like you, right? So, like there's pros and cons to everything. And also keep in mind, like for example, if you look at a number one, they might have the drive, but they might not have the talent, right? Number fours could be oozing with talent, and ultimately, you can get ahead in life with talent. So if you have talent plus relationship to open the doors for you to allow you to um, use your talent to its maximum potential, then you're gonna get ahead farther faster than the number one who's not leveraging the tribe, and that genuine connection to get ahead, right? So, it's that's what I love about OPS. It's such a complex system, and if you know how to leverage it properly to your type, you can really get ahead. You have to work with what you have, right? Your superpower as a number four, although yours is contradictory because you're play last. But but uh,
Yeah.
but
Me like dissociating as you're talking, and I'm just like I'm trying to pay attention. I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. No worries. No worries.
Yeah.
Do you have ADHD, by the way? Do you have like inattentive ED?
Probably. I mean, well, it was kind of a coincidence that I started going to a therapist that like specialized in ADHD because I ended up actually knew him at one point in time in real life. Like I had a friend in like elementary school or something, and he was like her dad. And then I only found out they did therapy a long time later. My mom even knew about him. Like she's like, I didn't tell you because obviously that would be weird if you like went to that therapist. And then I was like, no, because I had so much trust issues from my previous therapist. I didn't go for like 3 years, even though I knew it would be beneficial to me. So like that's how I started going to him. Is like I already have like a molecule of trust in you, so I don't really care if you like I don't really care about the associations if that's weird. Like it's almost better because it's always going to be weird for me. But like, yeah, I probably have it. I kind of relate to the like like ADHD and autism um when I like went to visit my cousin. I was talking to her about it a little bit. Um she's like, yeah, you definitely. I I lived with them for a couple months last summer, and that was a big deal for me. So it's kind of like, yeah, I could tell you're living with you. Like, you act the way that um, like my other cousin's that husband who's autistic does. I don't. Sorry. Point. Um, point is maybe probably.
Yeah, I feel like you might have inattentive ADHD because that's like when disassociation happens, like you zone out kind of like in mid-conversation kind of
The
deal.
zoning out was is just because I'm like I can't pay attention to the thing outside my head still, but that is not it's not my normal. Well, I guess it is my normal state, but it's not my normal state when I'm in front of other people. Um, I was just thinking about like how do I turn my preparation that I have into like I guess I just like how do I turn my preparation I have like I need to like fully get in this sleep blast pocket and like turn it around and like actually talk out SI like details of my life in order to feel like I can get to get to
It's okay.
it's that's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we're just chatting. It's not a big deal. But yeah,
Yeah, it was nice to chat with you, but it's not what I wanted. I wanted to no.
yeah. I mean, okay, like let's like look like let's just use Mr. Beast as an example because he's also play last like you, right? Um, his first podcast that he had to do, he was massively disappointed in how it went because he felt like he was awkward. He felt like it didn't flow properly. He felt like it wasn't what he thought it was going to be, And the person that was interviewing him, I think, was probably double activated play. So,
Mhm.
so it's super chaotic. But then he improved since then. So you do need to take that first step in order for you to improve at something. It's like the first time, especially if you're play last, it's not what you're gonna imagine it to be, like how it's gonna be, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah, it's like with the TI people, like they simulate what's going to happen on how something's going to work, and it doesn't work in reality because it's not like TE, right? It's TI. So it's kind of like that, like, with kind of play last is kind of similar to that. It's like you simulate what's going to happen, but without the
Yeah.
without the real life repetition, it's not going to come out the way you want it. And even people who are high play, it doesn't come out the way they want it to come out
Yeah,
because
but they just don't care.
it's not that they don't care, but they understand that, oh, I just need more practice. Like
Yeah.
with anything in life, it's just practice. Practice is key for anything, right? Like even confidence, if you think about what confidence is, it's like you've done it so much time that you feel confident that you're gonna be good at it, right? Like that's ultimately
Mhm.
what confidence is, right? You know? Um, so yeah, you're taking the first step. And even with like zoning out disassociation, like I have combined type ADHD, right? I have hyperactive and inattentive. So during my interviews, there's like a 25% chance I've zoned out during when I'm talking to somebody. You probably just don't know because I'm like looking at them and stuff. But and then like when I catch myself zoning out, I'm like, oh shit, I zoned out. What are we talking about? You
Yeah,
know?
well, it's okay because you can put a blast band-aid on it. You're just like, oh yeah, I know what this type is. So let's ask the next question. You must have like um your TI at the top, so you must have problems with tripay. Talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you got
Yeah.
it. You know the trick. But let's talk about your blast. Double masculine ST blast. What's happening there for you?
Not this, not this. Like, okay, so I like this is, I think, the lowest. As soon as I get in front of the camera, it's like this is the lowest amount of functioning I've had in a while. And it's because I was hoping for the opposite so much. I'm sorry. I can't get past that. I need to answer the question. Let me, I'm just like looking at some of the stuff. I was up really late last night writing about it. Couldn't get it out of my head. I think that it does um like sometimes when I see Shan Blast, it's like very much like you can't get a word in edgewise. Like it's a very powerful blast, but I'm not getting to it right now, so I can't. I'd rather show you than tell you. Like that kind of um I think that I'm sorry. Can we I don't I'm I'm crushed. I don't I
It,
don't
it's
I'm
okay.
trying to yeah, you need to post this interview, but I was hoping for something else.
What would you like? Like, do you want to talk about something else? I mean,
No.
I can
No, I just this is a problem on my end. It has nothing to do with you. I stop saying that. Stop saying worst case scenario in my head. Stop saying that. Like, yeah. Do you have any good prompt for me? I need it right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, what do you mean good prompt?
I don't know.
Oh, because yeah, I mean, I was gonna talk to you about your sexual modalities. I will talk to
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
ST blast. Talk about to you about your
It's
NT play
if
last.
people need to know.
Well, do you want to talk about your NT play last? Because that's problem solving with a tribe. And the thing with your plays is same as mine, so it's not touching SI at all. So it's like back and forth, but technically as an ENFP, you would be able to use it, uh,
Mhm.
without any breaks, like almost like unlimited, because it's not touching your triggering function. Um,
Yeah.
so when you do get started with the NT play, like with let's say with your family or coworkers or whatnot, do you enjoy that
Oh yeah, yeah. I
problem solving?
don't. I, sorry, were you not finished?
No, no, I was just asking if you enjoy that problem solving with
Yeah,
other people, you know?
yeah. I I enjoy it, yes, and I do think that um it's like a flow state for me. It's nice to not be um worried about things being too personal. Um like I think that I think that I'm still
Well,
sorry.
it's
I'm
okay.
just sorry.
No, no, no worries. You don't have to apologize for anything.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your sexual modality? Because you said at the start of our interview that you knew already that you were double masculine. Like that was one part of that type that though you weren't surprised that you got it. Uh,
Yes,
yeah. So what
that's
aspect of
right.
that, like, do you find yourself like,
I
very
I
aesthetic?
can't even I
Uh,
think that I'm trying to avoid saying it because I don't feel proud of it, but I might need you to throw this interview out. I'll I if I can if I can avoid showing other people this side of me, I want to.
okay. Okay. Well, I can just
It's
stop.
a failure. It's a failure, but failure is part of it, part of life.
Okay. You want me to delete the interview then?
I guess, I mean, I'm having second thoughts about it because it's so important to me. But so I think that it is something that I feel like it shows me, but it doesn't show parts of myself that I want to be. I guess it's still valuable, but I don't value it. So that's what I'm working through right now.
Do you want like a part two of the interview? So this is one part of you. No?
No, I mean, well, I know you don't do do-overs. So
Well, I do interviews again later on. Like I invite people to come back like a year later. I invite people for panel interviews. So, I can invite you to a panel interview also when I put them together. So it's not like, you know, you're not going to be able to talk again. It's just that there's time in between, right?
I think first impressions are really valuable of people, and I do want to use this interview as like a jumping off point. So I don't think I made my um I think that like it would be really important to me to have a good impression, but I don't know if that's worth setting myself back on the timeline either. I'm just really stuck. I'm just really stuck in my sleep right now. I'm just really stuck. Enough that I'm even like repeating the same things and like not. I'm not like I'm not like properly like seeing you or looking at you. I'm just triggered. Like I'll accept that. I'm just triggered right now.
What are you triggered about? Like the way you're coming across?
What am I triggered about? Um, because this isn't a therapy session, this is just normal, but I will answer the question. Um, I'm I just don't really want to be I just don't really want to be seen, even though I do. Like, I think, well, we can showing not telling cognitive dissonance and who I want to be in the tribe versus who I am because I'm still working on it.
I mean, it's okay. You're still young. There's a lot of time to figure this out, right? Like, like you want to be seen, but
Yeah, there's time.
yeah.
There's time that I can there's time where this won't be a complete failure. But don't put that label on it. Don't put the label on it. But I don't even this is just like this is just like this is just like yeah, I think that when I'm just trying to think. I can't get past this, so I can't like I'm just trying to think about in the future if I want to have this record or not. Like I can't stay in the moment. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry. I just want to say,
You're doing so much heavy lifting right now. Thank you so much.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's not the first person. You're not the first person I interviewed that had this kind of thoughts midway. So
But
I've
you're the I haven't seen this from other interviews, or at least if I saw this from other interviews, I I guess I didn't remember it being this bad.
no, there's a lot worse. I just they just asked me to they begged me
Not posted yet.
they begged me to redo to do a redo. I don't like doing redos personally just because
Yeah, we shouldn't do a redo, but
only because I feel like if someone had a freak out, I think it's a good showing of what a tidal wave looks like for that specific personality type. I know
okay.
I know it's at the expense of that person if they have a specific image that they want to portray to the outside world, which makes sense
Yeah,
because play last people, you're always putting a facade to the outside world, which is like the most dangerous thing possible, like that facade, right? Like a lot of play last people said
it's
they
dangerous.
yeah, because you're putting a fake persona of yourself. So you want people to people don't know the real you. Or I mean they maybe they do, your family does, or your friends do, but not the like people, it's like with dating, right? Like
Yeah,
you put on a fake persona of yourself and then you end up with that person and then you can't keep that up forever because like with play last the thing is you lose energy when you put up a fake persona. So eventually that mask comes off and then the other person sees the real you and then they don't like it because that's not who they fell in love with or whatever, right?
yeah,
So it's not good. So it's like in life, truly the most important thing is just to be yourself without the mask. Just because it's the same thing. The result, there's people gonna like you or dislike you regardless of what mask you put on. So you might as well just put in the real one or not, don't even put a real one in, and then the people that like you will like you, and then there's no energy involved when you're maintaining that relationship. But like when you are, yeah, so. but it's hard for deciders and
Yeah.
it's hard for play last people. So like
I,
everyone
s-
freaked out on me has been like deciders or play last. So you know,
I
um,
see like the like the mask when I'm trying to present that I have more energy than I have. It's like like a FE mask kind of like um I do worry about people seeing through it because I I want to be I don't want to drag people down with me, but don't I don't when I think about how I want to present to people, like fake is the last thing that I think about. So I don't consider this not my real self, but like what's happening right now. But I don't consider it I don't consider it the like I want to show the tribe all parts of myself, but I don't consider this part of me to be as developed as other parts of me in terms of like just living up to my potential, I guess. So like I think the core flaw of this interview so far is that I kind of um I kind of let the questions just come at me and I didn't establish myself in the context of them, which is something that I always see in reviews and I'm like I don't want to be that person because I want to be able to give better examples and not just kind of be like, oh yeah, this is relevant to me um because of this and I just pull something out and it ends up being like maybe less accurate. But I need to say I can't um I want to present the details first. And I did that when I was doing my typing video that prevented me from I did two when I was doing my typing video. I did two typing videos and one of them went really similarly to this. I posted a clip from it to show Dave anyway. Of just me not even like being able to keep up a like a like a train of thought, like a sentence, like just not even being able to get the words out. Um, like this. And then the second one was not very composed, but I brought out this like I was like, here's my journals and here's the actual physical SI proof that I've been doing the work. And I tried to use that to make me feel more safe. And that's I could have done something like that, and then I think I wouldn't have like ran away from the commitment of actually telling you about my life and not just some vague type details that I don't I don't the type is not me. Things that happen in my life are me. So I'm not sharing myself. And I guess that's the thing is like that's why this is more fake than if I actually were to be presenting a more put together image to me because I don't think that showing you a feminine NF consume that isn't built into anything is can be considered me yet. So I guess this is the way that I'm using ops and the way that I'm using this interview is developing identity even more than it's showing it. And that's why the stakes are so high for me. So I think that's I don't remember where I started this. That's just where I am right now. I don't remember.
Well, you have feminine FI, so like building your identity, it's gonna look different from people with masculine FI. Like if you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, he has a feminine FI, right? So he chose his identity.
Mm-hmm.
So he created his own identity because he can't solidify his own identity, right? So he had create something else outside of him that he, and took on that persona. So you could say there's like um uh an element of fakeness to it because it didn't come internally, but it's also authentic because that's his personality type. That's what that personality type does. So in the case of this interview, you haven't done anything that's inauthentic because you're just doing exactly what your personality type does. That's what you're doing, and that's completely normal. And also,
Well, I think
I just
that
one last thing, sorry. Um,
it could, yeah. I don't want to be a hypocrite and interrupt you, but
yeah, but also the other thing you have to keep in mind is like Alex Hormozy, like the ESTP guy that they type, like he also
mhm,
said that because like you said, oh, this interview has been a failure. I'm like, Alex Hormozy said he's not successful because he has a huge track record of success. He's successful because he has a huge track record of failures,
mhm,
And then if you don't archive those track record of failures, because those are the stepping stones to success, then you essentially erase a step towards success. So,
yeah.
but I can see that. So, anyways, I mean, we can just end this interview here, and then you can let me know by email if you want to publish or not. Um,
Yeah, I think that I would lean towards not having it published normally. Um, just because it's not up to either of our standards, probably. But I don't know, maybe you could give me like a link to it or something, like so I can remember what I only need to do better than this next time.
okay, I won't publish it then, and then we'll just leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Say
I'm sorry.
no worries. It's all good. All right. Well,
I'm glad that you took the time for me and maybe well the thing is I know I have it in me for a 2 hour interview, so I thought I'd take the chance of it. But maybe even if I do get in the swing of things and it gets frustrating for me, I would just it'd be better to do a 1 hour and just like go um blow off the steam some other way after it. But yeah, just just I was going to send this interview to a lot of people in my personal life. I was going to have that be a way that I shared ops with them because I haven't been able to talk about it. And it doesn't like the ops wouldn't matter. I'm like, I don't need you to understand the words we're saying. I need you to understand that I was trying to present myself without um, boundaries that because of like, that I was afraid of being vulnerable. But I am still afraid of it. And I don't know, maybe I should have caught you earlier when you're still traveling around the world so I can get a time at like freaking 11 p.m. or something when my brain is normally going in this direction.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. All right, I'm gonna
I
go.
I will worry about it
Yeah.
and I mean, I will try to do this again at some point. So it's like, um, is it important to you to wait a year before I ask you again?
Um, yeah, we'll just get in touch by email, okay? So, 'cause,
Okay, yeah, and you can worry about your appointment and other stuff. And yeah, yeah. Um, I'll yeah, I'll think about it.
okay, I'll get going.
Bye.